So I am really excited to have Jonah Snyder, aka Tweetsy Railroader, with me. We're collabing on a whole number of different things. Hold on for part two of this awesome collab. We are still talking with Jonah, aka Tweetsy Railroader here, who is Disney CP, Disney College Program. And one of the things I get asked about a lot is how the college program works and what it's like and the dorms. Because people a lot of times say, "Oh, it's like a college thing backstage." No, but the dorms are a little bit. So you get signed on to the college program. Uh, you get your dates, and you fly or drive down.
Oh, we drove down.
Okay.
We packed up, and it was an 8-hour drive. We left like 5 in the morning from my home in North Carolina. We drove all the way down. It was like 2 or 3 when we finally reached Flamingo Crossings. Now we spent we came down a couple days early. We stayed in a hotel nearby because we went to Magic Kingdom the day before I checked in. CPs all stay in what's called Flamingo Crossing.
It's not too far.
No, it's right.
It's the parks.
It's in what's called the Reedy Creek Improvement District. So in there, they actually have a variety of different things, and there's 2 campuses. There's West and there's East. West was where I lived. I was in the quiet part of Flamingo Cross. It was nice and chill. They had a lot of amenities like a gym that in the community center. They had a couple little arcade machines, and they were all free to play. So I love booting up playing Donkey Kong or Pac-Man. They also had the mail room in there. Of course, all of the various rooms are named after different Disney characters. I was in G, which was for Genie. They do provide free transportation, so you are able to board a bus from Flamingo Crossings to either of the campuses or to anywhere on the resort. There are some obviously some stipulations. Number 1, working casket priority. Bus schedule was interesting. They had an app called Passio Go, which they would tell you the bus schedules and stuff. The buses, of course, went all across the resort. There were buses that also went over up to places Target and Walmart as well for grocery shopping and such. I do want to mention East was where all the parties and stuff were. So, like we hear about all the exclusive meet and greets and such at a Disney College program, those are where you'll usually see them. First time I was down there, I went to one of the parties. I think it was I got to meet some really rare characters you wouldn't be able to meet otherwise. Flick and Princess Ada from A Bug's Life. I got to meet the Beast. I got to meet Donald and Goofy in pirate outfits, which was really fun. Didn't go to a lot of the parties at East. I mostly just that wasn't really my style. If I was on my days off, I was going to be going to the parks. I almost spent all my time at Disney parks, but I did do one day at Universal, and I did Islands of Adventure. Because I think out of the 2 Universal parks, that one's, I think, the better of the 2, and is the one I've been to.
Your actual apartment. How many rooms? How many people?
It's 4 people for apartment, and the room styles vary. There were a few different options you could choose from. You were not guaranteed to get the preferred one, so you could either do what was a 2-bed, 2-bath, which was you'd have a shared bedroom between 2 people, and then each would share a bathroom. Then you have a set with 4 individual bedrooms each, and then each person would share a bathroom, or you could do 4 bedrooms each with private bath. All of them had kitchens, and like a living space. They are very comfortable. They have washers and dryers in there for us to use, and obviously we were required to clean our own costumes. I usually kept about like 5 sets of my outfits. As a custodial cast member, your costumes got very dirty. They would never stay pristine white for long, and you just kind of had to deal with it.
Do what you could to bleach them out and keep them white, and then once they started to get stained, all right, back to costuming and change them out.
Yeah, and there were times where I had like buttons pop off and zippers bust, and I had to go to costuming in the middle of my shift to get those fixed. Great.
Yep. Yeah, I'd have people occasionally spill stuff on me, and like, guess I'm going to costuming.
I was able to call my coordinators, let them know, hey, I have an issue with my costume. I need to go to costuming to get it fixed. And they're usually very understanding about it.
Now, your costuming, though, was actually in the park, right?
It's in the cast parking lot.
Okay, so you're a Westcott. Same place ours was then.
Yeah, it was Let's Walk. Yes.
When we first started, our costumes were actually Chippendales, and it was this trailer place in the middle of the parking lot closer to the Polynesian.
Duh. What?
Yeah. So if we
Good
had a costume
God.
issue, it meant a couple hours off. It was
Oh
it was real fun. But yeah, it's not the part under the costuming inside Magic Kingdom. That's mostly characters. And no, characters don't get to take their stuff home,
no, of course they don't.
but yes, everybody else takes their costumes home and washes them and takes care of
Correct.
them. So that's why you would occasionally see somebody straight from work at the store in their costume. Not
Oh yeah, and
supposed
I will.
to,
There were days I
but
just when I was home when like days I would return back to Flamingo Crossings. I was just tired. I would just walk in my costume to rest at the various restaurants because Flamingo Crossings has a little village which kind of a second little Disney Springs, a few different like restaurants and stuff. Firehouse Subs, they have a Firehouse Subs. They have a really good place called Pita, which is like Greek food gyros and stuff, which is really good. Had a Mexican place called Line Fresh. Had a barbecue place. Had a Five Guys and a pizza. And I think no, not pizza, Domino's. I didn't and a few and of course some other miscellaneous shops, and they had a Ben and Jerry's. I often got ready for work very early. I was usually when on days when I needed to go to work, I was getting in my costume 2 hours before I had to when my shift started. That way I got on the bus in ample time and went out. There were days I got dressed earlier just so I could go eat and then go and catch the bus. Days where I was at an earlier end time for my shifts, I would go, eat somewhere instead of costume because I was gonna go change and I'm not gonna go get dressed, change clothes just to go to do whatever. In fact, I think the only time I changed clothes after the end of my shift was my final shift, and because I went to hang out, party, enjoy my day actually as a guest at Magic Kingdom when my
mhm.
final shift was over.
So let's see. So you had your apartment, you had a little shopping center with restaurants nearby,
Hmm.
free transportation, back
Correct.
and forth. Sometimes you have to wait, but
Yep.
party scene where you have the cast events and then kind of the calmer side. What else was kind of unique about college program?
Like knowing you're not there permanently. You are there it is a contract position. You are only there for at minimum 4 months, which is how long I was there, up to a year.
Mhm.
If you and I think a lot of that also has to do with housing laws and such. Also, you are paying rent. It is taken out of your paycheck. But yeah, it meant paychecks could be a little tight.
Mhm.
And I'll admit I definitely was not the smartest with my money. Because I was always buying food and for souvenirs in the park. And
Now, college program, were you doing college classes as part of it as well?
yes, I actually was. I took all my class while I did the semester at Disney, I did all my classes online.
Okay.
And that's also a very important thing to manage. And I did not do what I was initially going to do, um which was about 15 hours. I had to do about 12 hours. I did 12 hours, which equated to 4 classes.
Mhm.
And you have to be able to manage your classes alongside your work. And when school's still going on, I that was something I was, having to make sure, and I would often do it either, mornings before I went to work or evenings before after I came home, depending on what I needed to do. And see, you got the
Yep.
doggy.
I don't know.
Of course, I passed. I got all A's and B's, so it worked out either way.
Now, did they require you to be taking classes while you were in the program? Or was it
No,
just to have been enrolled in college just
you just had to
before?
be enrolled.
Okay.
Because, like I said, you can do your program up to 2 years after you've graduated. I'm going to be taking advantage of that and do a second program, and then potentially go full time at Disney afterward.
Now,
I'm thinking for my next program, I'm going to see if I can't do parade audience control at Magic Kingdom,
okay.
to better support to better work better with my skill set of interacting with guests and that sort of thing.
So looking more guest relations side because
Sort
guest
of.
relations
So I do
department
like
might
I meant like the
work.
parade, like I was thinking like working, helping to, like crowd control parades because I
Yep.
want to work on the train, and that's the first step to do it. You have to do Main Street ops, and then you can become a conductor, and then from there you can become an engineer.
So how much input do you get into where you work with college program?
You get very little. You can hint at what you want, but they're going to put you some there, but they're it's up to them where they're going to put you.
So you're
Um,
basically, I'm going to work at Disney, but I have no idea what I'm going to be doing.
Correct. All I knew is I wanted to work at Magic Kingdom and I wanted to work on the railroad, obviously, because they do not let cast CPs work on the railroad.
Right.
And I could not work on the monorail either because I do not have a driver's license. I was maybe hoping for attractions or something, or even photo pass, but when I got to Scotia, I was like, oh, but then I started actually doing it. I'm like, hey, this is pretty fun.
Although 4 month program, that doesn't give you a whole lot of time for the training and to get out there. So photo pass, I'm trying to remember if it was a 9 month was a minimum. Photo pass is a little bit longer contract with them. So I
Mm.
think that may have been why
One
that
thing I am going to be
could
doing when I
change.
do another program, I'm going to be extending. The big reason I only went 4 months is I want to get home and spend summer with my family and all that sort of thing.
And like I said, that timeline could have changed, but I'm trying to remember when I was there if it was 6 months or a 9 month term minimum for photo pass.
Mm.
But they had only started allowing college programming for like my last year there, and it was brand
Huh.
new, and so I don't remember what the numbers that I had
Mm.
last were. Yeah, so no saying what you get to do, and hope that you like it. If you really hate it, it's what, 2 months before you can transfer.
I love custodial, so I didn't transfer.
Yeah.
I love the people I work with. People, my managers thought I was the greatest thing on the planet. So I say, so yeah, I wouldn't about to leave.
So if somebody's thinking about doing college program, what would you tell
Consider the pros and cons.
them?
The college program, I was actually a little bit nervous about it at first because this was going to be the first time I was going to be spending a significant amount of time outside of my home state, outside from vacation. So it was very nervous. I was living in a new place. Obviously, consider how this would impact your schooling. Be considerate of that. And beyond that, make sure you are considering um kind of, is this something I want to do? Is the kind of work I could potentially be doing the career path I want to go down? Um, because if you're somebody who maybe is a little more introverted and maybe isn't necessarily like super good with crowds, then personally I'd recommend maybe this isn't quite the position for you, even if you like the parks. But if you're somebody who really enjoys Disney, really enjoys interacting with people, and really enjoys, making people happy, then I'd say this is something you should at least look into. I know Disney isn't the only place that does a college program, but look at options.
Yep.
I know you mentioned, George, in some of your videos, you had a Silver Dollar City had a college program, and you had a couple kids that did train robbing with you.
It's a little
Um,
different there. It's they're college students, but it's not a college program like Disney.
mm,
It's a summer program, and there's a couple organizations that um, some people think of it as a summer camp. It's not a summer camp,
mm.
but similar kind of thing where they're Christian organizations and they've got discipleship training meetings and stuff like that that they do
Yeah,
in
but
addition.
like still, it's something, if you're going to be doing the Disney college program, it is something you should consider.
Silly question, like, do you regret it? But hey, you're getting ready to do it again, so obviously you liked it.
I loved it. I had a blast. It was so much fun. Even like, honestly, there were some days I hated, but that's with any job.
Mhm.
I loved it. I was fantastic. I want to do it again.
And that's the thing is, it's a job. Yeah,
Exactly.
and
You have to keep that in
people
mind.
forget that sometimes. It's still a job. You're still going to occasionally deal with a bad boss or a bad coworker or bad guests, just like any place else.
Thankfully, I didn't have to worry with any bad bosses or any bad coworkers. Bad
That's awesome.
guests, yes.
Yeah.
But I was very lucky in we had a very that the custodial team we were was a very good group, and I still am very thankful for them.
Yeah. And I know people are going to ask, yeah, how come you're not talking about the bad guests? Well, the whole reason is because you're wanting to go back and we want to make sure we keep everything good.
Exactly. Because
Yep.
Because
No,
bad guests
no.
happen. But I also know that this is where this is something I bring, but I also know that I think I really did a lot of good, and I'm really hoping that we'll be able to continue. I'll be able to continue that.
And the bad guests, not that many, and they're going to move on. The good
Yeah.
guests outweigh it easily. At least when I was there, yeah, they made it worth it. I had a
Hmm.
blast. Tell people you're getting paid to play.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you so much for that, Jonah. We've got one more episode coming up. We want to talk a little bit about the train stuff,
Hmm.
Tweetsy a little bit, and Great Smoky Mountains and stuff like that. So,
All righty.
thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. We've got one more part coming up, and of course, there was part one released earlier. If you've been enjoying it, let us know in the comments. If you'd like to know more or have feedback, please share it below. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. God bless. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts, your comments, your suggestions, your ideas. Be sure to share them in the comments below, or you can contact me. There's information in the description that has my email address, fan pages, information about merchandise, and so much more. So be sure to check that out. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and if you haven't already, hit the button right up there to subscribe. And in fact, if you did enjoy this, I've even got another video for you right here. And also about these wonderful people here, those are my YouTube members and my patrons, the ones whose financial support makes this possible. I couldn't do it without them. If you want to know more about that and the perks that come with it, well, be sure to check the description. There's a link right down there. Thank you so incredibly much. God bless.